Welcome to Brain Outside the Box, where we delve into the most intriguing and unexpected stories from history. Today, we're unraveling the enigmatic life of Vincent, the Oddfather Gigante, a man who blurred the lines between reality and illusion in the underworld of American organized crime. Imagine walking the streets of New York's Little Italy and spotting a disheveled elderly man in a bathrobe and slippers. You'd never guess he was one of the most powerful mob bosses in history. But Vincent Gigante, known as the Chin, was exactly that, a mastermind of deception and power. Gigante's journey is not just a crime story, it's a tale of disguise, power, and a double life unlike any other. Gigante's rise from the Lower East Side to lead the Genovese crime family was shrouded in secrecy and deceit. Was he a cunning strategist or a man caught in his own web of deceit? Stay tuned as we explore the life of Vincent the Oddfather Gigante. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that take you beyond the ordinary. Born in 1928 in the Lower East Side of New York, Vincent Gigante was the youngest of 5 children in a family of Italian immigrants. His parents, Salvatore and Yolanda Gigante, raised their family in modest conditions, instilling values of hard work and education in their children, including Vincent. Gigante grew up in a tenement building, experiencing the challenges of poverty. His father, a laborer, emphasized the importance of diligence and learning, shaping Vincent's early life. Though he was a competent student at a Catholic school, Gigante's rebellious nature often landed him in trouble. This streak of defiance led him to leave high school at the age of 16, opting instead for a career in boxing. From 1944 to 1947, he pursued professional boxing as a light heavyweight, earning the nickname the Chin. This moniker stemmed from his mother's thick Italian accent, which transformed his name, Vincenzo, into Cinzenzo. In his brief boxing career, Gigante made a mark, winning 21 out of 25 matches. However, it was his activities outside the ring that would ultimately define his legacy, leading him down a path of infamy. Vincent Gigante's foray into organized crime began under the tutelage of Vito Genovese, a renowned Mafia boss. This relationship took a significant turn when Genovese funded a crucial medical procedure for Gigante's mother, winning the young man's allegiance. Gigante's early criminal endeavors involved mingling with street gangs and engaging in unlawful activities such as robberies and break-ins. His commitment to his mob apprenticeship was evident through a series of petty yet ruthless crimes. By the age of 25, Gigante had accumulated no fewer than 7 arrests, yet he skillfully avoided any serious legal consequences during these formative years. Entering his late 20s, Gigante's role in the criminal underworld evolved significantly. No longer merely a foot soldier, he had gained sufficient notoriety to ascend to the role of an enforcer within the family. This marked a significant upturn in his criminal career, setting the stage for his future influence in the Mafia world. The Genovese crime family, although carrying Vito Genovese's surname, was not founded by him. Its origins trace back to Charles "Lucky" Luciano. However, Luciano's reign was cut short when he was charged with multiple counts of compulsory prostitution, subsequently leading to his deportation to Italy. Unable to effectively manage the family from Italy, Luciano appointed Frank Costello as the new boss, bypassing Vito Genovese. This decision was a significant blow to Genovese, who, despite his loyalty, harbored deep ambitions. Genovese's response was calculating and ruthless. He plotted to eliminate Costello, even if it took years to achieve. On April 7, 1957, this plot nearly came to fruition. Frank Costello was targeted in a near-fatal shooting in Manhattan. As he exited the lobby of his apartment building, assailants ambushed him, firing multiple shots. Costello sustained a bullet wound to his scalp but miraculously survived, leaving the hospital just days later. When questioned by police, he denied recognizing his attackers or even hearing the gunshots. The investigation, bolstered by the testimony of a doorman who provided a detailed description of one assailant, led to the identification of Vincent Gigante. 66 NYPD detectives were assigned to the case, and the doorman subsequently identified Gigante in a lineup. Despite this, the charges against Gigante were dropped due to insufficient evidence. However, the incident was pivotal, compelling Costello to retire from public life. He passed away in 1973 from natural causes. After his acquittal, Gigante expressed his gratitude to Costello for his silence. Understanding the implicit message, Costello promptly retired, leaving Genovese as the undisputed leader of the crime family. After narrowly escaping incarceration in 1957, Vincent Gigante, along with his mentor Vito Genovese, was not as fortunate in 1959. Both were convicted on charges of heroin trafficking, receiving prison sentences of 7 and 14 years, respectively. Gigante secured his release on a parole 5 years into his sentence, but Genovese's fate was sealed within prison walls as he passed away there in 1969. During this period, Gigante's criminal stature continued to grow. Upon his release, he was elevated from a mere foot soldier to the rank of capo, or captain, within the organization. This promotion was a double-edged sword for Gigante. His elevated status in the crime family also meant increased scrutiny from law enforcement, placing him higher on their priority list. Conscious of this heightened attention, Gigante devised a cunning plan to divert law enforcement's focus. In 1969, the same year Genovese died, Gigante faced an arrest warrant in a bribery conspiracy involving police officers from Old Tappan who allegedly received payoffs in exchange for tipping him off. To evade prosecution, Gigante resorted to an extraordinary scheme, feigning mental illness. He convincingly portrayed himself as suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. His lawyers backed this claim with official psychiatric diagnoses, convincing the court of his unfitness for trial. As a result, Gigante was cleared of all charges, successfully eluding legal repercussions through this elaborate ruse. Vincent Gigante's ascent to the helm of the Genovese crime family was marked by a unique blend of cunning and theatricality. Mafia informants recount how he smoothly transitioned into power following the early retirement of Philip Lombardo, the former family head. Upon assuming leadership, Gigante implemented stringent security measures. He became a spectral figure within the Mafia, virtually unmentionable. His subordinates were instructed to avoid using his name, instead using hand signals like forming a C or touching their chin to refer to him. Gigante's efforts to elude law enforcement scrutiny extended into an elaborate public display of mental instability. He roamed the streets of Greenwich Village, his neighborhood, often only in a bathrobe and nightgown, engaging in bizarre behaviors such as talking to inanimate objects and urinating in public. These antics earned him the infamous moniker, the Oddfather. His family played a crucial role in perpetuating this ruse. His brother Louis Gigante, a Catholic priest, vehemently supported the narrative of Vincent's mental health issues, claiming he had been on medication for these ailments since 1968. Gigante's dedication to this facade was unwavering. Between 1969 and 1995, he voluntarily admitted himself to psychiatric hospitals on at least 24 occasions, further solidifying his feigned mental illness without the need for falsified medical reports. Simultaneously, behind this facade, Gigante was actively expanding the Genovese family's criminal empire. He broadened their involvement in loan sharking, extortion, bookmaking, and rigged bids for infrastructure projects in New York City. Under his leadership, the Genovese crime family grew into one of the largest mafia organizations in the country, with annual revenues nearing $100 million at its peak. This remarkable growth was achieved while Gigante continued to play the part of a mentally ill individual, deceiving both law enforcement and the public. Things fall apart. By 1990, the intricate web of deception woven by Vincent Gigante faced its most significant challenge. He, along with 14 others, was indicted on federal charges in Brooklyn for involvement in a bid-rigging scheme. This conspiracy implicated 4 of New York's 5 major crime families, including the Genovese family, manipulating bids for a substantial portion of the New York City Housing Authority's window contracts, valued at $191 million from 1978 to 1990. In 1993, Vincent Gigante was indicted for plotting to murder mob figures, including Gambino family head John Gotti. Throughout these trials, Gigante's lawyers strenuously maintained his facade of mental incompetence, presenting concocted evidence of his insanity. This charade prolonged the legal proceedings with numerous insanity hearings, derailing the trial for several years. Eventually, after a prolonged legal battle, the judge dismissed Gigante's insanity plea. In July 1997, Gigante was sentenced to 12 years in prison, having been convicted of racketeering and conspiracy to commit murder. While incarcerated, Gigante was believed to have continued managing the Genovese family affairs until 2003. In a dramatic twist, he finally confessed to having feigned his mental illness for over 4 decades as part of a plea deal to reduce his sentence. However, this admission ultimately had no impact on his situation. Vincent Gigante passed away in 2005 at the age of 77, still serving his prison term. He left behind a complex and enduring legacy in the annals of organized crime, remembered for his cunning, manipulation, and the audacious longevity of his masquerade. Vincent Gigante, a figure both notorious and enigmatic in American organized crime, is known not only for his criminal exploits but also for his distinctive eccentricity. His unique persona and formidable reputation have been captured in various forms of media over the years. In the acclaimed HBO series The Sopranos, Gigante is frequently referenced, portrayed as a commanding and feared mob boss. His presence extends into cinema with Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas, where actor Frank Vincent delivers a memorable portrayal of Gigante. Additionally, the first season of the popular Netflix series Ozark mentions him as a powerful and dreaded figure in the underworld. Gigante's influence has permeated the music industry as well. He is the subject of the rap song Gigante by Wu-Tang Clan and is also referenced in Ain't No Love by the notorious B.I.G. The imprint of Vincent Gigante on pop culture is profound and enduring. His intriguing and intimidating character continues to resonate, immortalized in some of the most iconic works of modern entertainment. His legacy as one of the most influential mob bosses in American history is set to endure for many years to come. For more intriguing stories and fascinating insights into figures like Vincent Gigante, explore Brain Outside the Box. Dive deep into the world of history's most captivating personalities and discover the untold stories behind the headlines. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.